So a number of years ago, this has probably got to be 20 years ago, I was introduced to something called emotional freedom technique. Nowadays, they call it tapping. But when we were trained it back then, we were told that it is probably one of the most profound ways to break log jams in the brain. And I'm going to tell you more about that. As a matter of fact, this whole week is going to be devoted to emotional freedom technique, what it is, how to use it, and maybe how you can use it to get through anxiety, frustration, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, maybe even an addiction, definitely emotional responses in relationships. Hey, I'm David Essel. You're tuned into David Essel's Daily Video Boost, your exclusive online community. Remember, write things down, take notes, do something today you'd rather not do, like maybe the emotional freedom technique. Now, over the years, emotional freedom technique became tapping. And I think it was because emotional freedom technique sounded too sterile. So they came up with this word tapping, and I'll tell you where it got its name from. And then ever since then, it's taken off. But I'm going to give you a big timeout caution. It's not the silver bullet. It's not the answer to everything. I have friends of mine that have written books about how all you need to do is EFT, emotional freedom technique, or tapping, and you can become a millionaire and you can become all these things. It is not true. But that doesn't mean it's not valid. Just like cognitive behavioral therapy that we did a video on here a while ago, just like journaling, just like meditation, prayer, energy work, everything has a role. Nothing is the answer, okay? That's really important. So let's talk about this. So when emotional freedom technique first came out, there was a study done about breaking through log jams, kind of like how acupuncture does it by rechanneling energy in the body, right? Well, this is in the mind. And what they found is there's this portion of the brain called the amygdala, and you can go ahead and Google that, amygdala. And its whole purpose is that's where the fight, flight, or freeze syndrome happens. So your partner calls you a name, and you do one of three things. You fight back, right? You run away, flight, or you freeze. You don't know how to respond. You shut down. So we want to look for ways to be able to break that logjam. You know, you're craving the nicotine, the alcohol, the sugar. This is one tool, not the answer, but it's one tool that can absolutely help. So when we look at this amygdala, one of the things they found is that when vibration goes into the brain and reaches the amygdala, if it's combined with certain phrases, that it can sort of like melt that block, melt that logjam. So instead of the knee-jerk prehistoric reaction, fight, flight, or freeze, we have a tendency to slow down. We have a tendency to be a little calmer, but more importantly than both of those things, we can have a logical versus emotional response. Isn't that awesome? We've used it with people who are afraid to speak in public. We used it with people who are afraid to look realistically at their finances. We're worked with people who are afraid to honestly admit their role in the dysfunction of love. You know, they always are saying it's never me, never me, never me. We did the emotional freedom technique work, and all of a sudden they were able to take a big breath. People with anxiety, people with depression, it is a tool. I'm going to keep saying that. It's a tool. So now, over the years, it's evolved, though. When I first heard about it and was trained in it, oh my God, we had like 20 locations in the body. You had to tap here and here and here and here and here and here and underneath the arm. And oh my Lord, it took freaking forever. So 3 years ago, as we were continuing to use this, I came up with a thought process, a theory. And I said, you know what? Since the amygdala is in the brain, why don't we just tap on what's called the crown chakra, or the very top of your skull? Okay, now, there's spiritual reasons for this, there's physical reasons for this, but all I'm going to talk about right now is the physical reason. So I was thinking if we could shorten the time of, instead of tapping all over the body, just do it on the center of the brain, and that vibration sunk down into the amygdala, combined with the statements that I'm going to teach you later on in the week. Holy crap, could it work? So I had a perfect test student. He came in, he refused to do emotional freedom technique because he didn't want to tap all over his freaking body, okay? And I understood it. He was so resistant, but I knew this could help him. He was so resistant, he said, no way. So 3 weeks later when he came in, and this is probably 3 years ago, I have a video of this on YouTube, and I said, we're only going to do here. He goes, all right, I'll try it. And it worked great. His fear was around money. and it worked really good, combined with all the other steps he's doing. Okay, so today is just sort of like this understanding of what emotional freedom technique is, what are the benefits, how long does it take? It can take anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 weeks of doing this on a daily basis for people to break through. I worked with a woman recently who had high anxiety levels, and within 72 hours, she felt a difference. So that can happen too, okay? Listen, keep an open mind. Watch this video again, because in the days to come, I'm going to be taking you through the 3 different phases of it so that you can get very secure in using it yourself. Because what? These motivational videos that we do for your everyday, the number one thing I want you to do is learn something new, take action steps you'd rather not take. This is a great one. Take notes. I'll see you soon, and we'll do more on this topic, okay? Hey, don't forget to let your friends and family know that we are on the air for them as well. Get them to join the Daily Boost. We've got a brand new online video series called Life Mastery. It's only $97, 6 hours of online videos. You can check that out at talkdavid.com. Have a great day.